Good morning to all. Our beloved Gurudev is the sun sign of life. Beloved Gurudev is the sunrise of wisdom within. Let us pray and bow to our beloved Gurudev, Sri Guruji, all masters of the lineage, and all masters of the world religions of all places and times. The world today is confronted with a crisis of consumption, a crisis of overproduction, a crisis of garbage accumulation. If this is not fought with, it will lead to an end of human civilization. Our earth will become another Mars, another Jupiter, bereft of life, living, and colors. Every one of us aware of the fact that excessive consumption has brought about a change in the climate, in the environment, and in the water surface, water beneath, soil surface, and below the soil surface, and the sky. The consequence of consumption is felt everywhere, but we remain helpless. We have the capacity, we have the science and technology at our back, but we lack the heart and the mind to fight the crisis. A crisis so critical, so dangerous, that is leading us to annihilation, total annihilation. Time has come, you and me, everybody everywhere, be it a Kriya or otherwise, have to unite our heart and mind with this problem and its solution thereof. We will definitely overcome this crisis. We have the mind, we have the heart, we have the ability. So what is lacking? A sense of determination. In the individual level, and also in a collective way, and the societal way, and the governmental level, efforts should be made to meet this crisis in a brilliant and beautiful way. If you look to the history, it's the industrial revolution that lead to production, extra production, and demanded consumption, massive and heavy consumption. Even at the time they wanted, the industrial nations wanted, the extra production should go over to non-industrial societies. In the name of production, there is a tremendous pressure in the level of international competition, leading to another type of extra production and extra consumption. Things those are not needed, we are consuming. Things that could be avoided, we are helplessly using them. Time has come to make an assessment whether we should halt and reverse the process of consumption or not. Before Industrial Revolution, production was simple and the consumption style was simple. After Industrial Revolution, the desire for consumption is massive and complex. Before Industrial Revolution, production was localized. After Industrial Revolution, production have become internationalized. Anything that is produced at any corner of the earth travels to another corner to meet the ever-rising appetite for consumption. False appetite and extra appetite, or I can say aggressive appetite for consumption. Human beings today are more rational, more educated, more enlightened, more scientific in nature, scientific in spirit, and time has come to cultivate a little bit of spirituality to look to this process of consumption. A nation's prosperity is today judged from its capacity for production and its matching capacity for consumption and its capacity for exporting goods and commodities for others. A nation's prosperity is not judged on the basis of good health, good mind, good heart, and peacefulness, social amity, friendship, fraternity. They are not looked after. Some days before, during this lockdown period, I came across a newspaper information. Because of the lockdown, biscuit companies and their productions have lowered. And an economist has made a comment. Less production of biscuit is an indication of downward state or movement of economy. More production of biscuit, more production of food, packet foods, more production of automobiles, bikes, if they are considered as the index mark for prosperity. So where is the place for a good society, sanitized, adulteration-free society, healthy society, happy society, and holy society? Consumption is a must. It has become inevitable. I can't go without consumption, neither you. We have to depend upon some amounts of consumption. But what should the ratio? What should be my personal level consumption, family level consumption, societal and national and international level of consumption? The kind of aggressive consumption, arbitrary consumption that is taking place today has to be reversed. Had our ancestors living either in the East or in the West, 5,000 years ago, 7,000 years ago, had become aggressive consuming communities, then I'm sure there should have nothing left for us, for the modern men to live with All mineral deposits could have been emptied. No gasoline. Nothing of the sort. Our globe could have been a beautiful cremation ground of the creation. If I coin a line like that, our ancestors could have emptied everything. Sri Guruji one day gave the example of the Konark temple. Anybody who has seen the Konark temple in the sea coast of Odisha, eastern India, might have come across to witness some iron pillars as good as steel, corrosion-free, standing on the sea coast, saline sea breeze, dashing those iron pillars day in and day out. For many years, it's remaining corrosion-free. It indicates that ancestors of this patch of people of Eastern India knew the art of making steel, the art of making iron. But they never allowed themselves to go for massive consumption. Had they done that, no iron ore left. Nothing. There must be an economic consideration, sociological consideration behind industrial growth. Necessity cannot be whetted up. Necessity should be kept under control. Otherwise, the process of consumption will go up, causing tremendous and harmful effect both on the natural resources and also the societal mind. The kind of hankering that is taking place within the human mind to accumulate more commodities. These are necessary and also fanciful. The kind of worries that we have to earn more money to acquire such things makes us restless, makes us crazy. Human life is not to live for the consumption. We need consumption. Yes, that's true. Limited consumption in a limited way for a better life, for a stronger life, a life of vision and virtues. More production leads to more consumption and more garbage accumulation. The kind of garbage that is floating underwater in these coastal water areas. Plastic, empty plastic bottles, empty plastic cans, and plastic pieces, as if they're swimming in numbers and sometimes outnumbering the community of the fishes, the marine creatures. They are causing harmful effect for their living. Sea water is their zone, their territory, their residential areas. If that is not kept free of pollution, if plastic will invade there, what will happen to the sea community of fish? They are crying. They're praying to the God to give a lesson to the human beings, to open up their good heart and good mind to delimit the rate of their consumption and production thereof. To meet the crisis of garbage, simply dumping them here and there. If you keep on dumping, if all the garbages, plastic garbages are put together, it would create a few Himalayas or Alps, garbage mountains. If you bury them, underground will be polluted. Water falling from the cloud on the surface may not get free passage, free percolation to go down and down to reach, to ensure the ground water level. That's happening today. Ground water level is depleting day by day. Yes, because of excessive consumption, and also the supply chain is prevented. Water from the heaven finds no adequate amount of percolation to get in to reach the groundwater. It's a problem. And you cannot burn them. If you burn, it will lead to air pollution. So there's a demand for recycling. Instantly, world cannot be free of plastic and its uses. But we can delimit its production through more use of recyclable commodities. I need not go into the other aspects. I limit my discussion to only plastic. Plastic. This garbage, we should try to make the best use of these waste products. At many levels, thousands and thousands of municipal programs are undertaken to recycle this waste product. American waste product engineers, Australian and European friends are leading. I wish them success. R&D people are also trying to make biodegradable plastic available so that we can overcome the crisis very smoothly. There are many ways to monitor this recycling process. Some months ago, 2019, I think, I had visited a house, a family in Lucknow. It's a middle-class family. Both the parents and the children were committed to recycling. Clothes, old clothes, put for recycling. Bottles, packs, tins, cans, all are put to recycling. They do it at their own hand. Very wonderful. Baskets, vases, urns, they prepare out of the waste product. They have prepared, the girls have prepared beautiful clothing for themselves out of the worn out saris of their mother. Recycling. The youth is now interested to go for recycling because they know that their future is at stake. Old men, their life is now going to be over. Of course, senior citizens should give more help, more thought for good solution of this bad crisis. However, the youth world over is now trying to come across this. Recyclable commodities should now flood the market, should flood the houses. People, instead of going for fresh manufactured things, fresh made out of fresh raw material, natural resources, should go for recyclable things. In that case, air pollution will be lesser, water pollution will be lesser, and in addition, will save more energy. Saving more energy is an important byproduct of recycling process. This crisis of consumption can be combated with full heart. There must be some laws, municipal law and also international law, to put ban on production of plastic bags, containers, and bags, and the like. Of course, for pharmaceutical purposes, for supply of medicines, instantly we cannot go for the alternative. Let plastic bottles be used, plastic bags be used in the hospital and other nursing homes. We should not interfere immediately in those spheres. But in other areas, we should. I feel tempted to tell you a beautiful example of our beloved Sri Guruji. I have accompanied him many times in the flight from India to Europe, from Europe to USA, from India to Singapore and Singapore to Australia and the like. Every time I have found he never used any kind of food served in the flight. It's a beautiful kind of fasting. It is his principle. And the more I think of this recycling process, limitation, delimitation of consumption, I admire my master. How farsighted he is. He's setting up an example not to use food, so that per capita consumption of plastic cans and plastic bags by serving food, either breakfast time, lunch time, or dinner time in the flight, is reduced. I don't want that all of us should go for fasting. He never advised the same kind of prescription for me. He allowed me to have the food. But I had to go the other way. Instead of having more from the cooked food, I opted for vegetables that can be taken as it is, leaf that can be taken as it is, and the ripe fruits. Since I cannot go without it, that was my alternative, and he appreciated it. Sometimes he would bring his share and hand over to me. Say, yes, you avoid cooked food and take all these things. Each one of us, at an individual personal level or a family level, we should fight. An attitudinal change is a necessity. And that will bring change in the society and the process of consumption, which will also lead to the process of production. In India, even now, people love to take food in the banana leaf. Kerala is a beautiful example. Kerala, the state of India, is a very beautiful example. They adhere to this ancient process of consumption. Leaf plate. I saw in Kerala in one place, with the coconut leaf, they have prepared small cups, small bowls where rice cake is prepared. Instead of using plastic and other kind of utensils, they use this thing to make our life more natural, more environment friendly. If this will be the motto in our life, in our personal family life, a lot of things can be solved. To encourage people to go for the alternative. I'm reminded of a great saint of yesteryears who is very famous as revered Karapatri. He will join his two palms to create a pot, temporary pot, and he will take food with that. And Kara means the hand, the palm. And since he was using the two hands to make a pot, a bowl for taking food, he was called Karapatri. What a beautiful way of delimiting the use of plastic or any other thing. I don't want that. I don't advise that all of us should become Karapatris. It's not necessary for all of us. That would be ridiculous. Rather, we should delimit the use of plastic at any cost. In the curricular system, both of the schools and that of the post-school educational institutions, emphasis should be given for the study of environment, climate, and this kind of production, use of plastics, misuse of plastic, and the like. Children must be enlightened so that they will take care of the future, because they are the stars of the future. The curricular effort should be to prepare and train the youth, the mind, to go for a new life, to go for a new society, where consumption will be rational, need-based, not advertisement-based. It should be need-based. Where it's a necessity, it has to be done. It has to be produced. And so also, the economic evaluation of the national prosperity should have other rational alternatives for judging the development of economy should be attached to, coupled with development of healthy mind, healthy heart, healthy body, healthy family, and healthy society. A nation may become 10 trillion economy, but the nation, half of the nation are deceased. Half of the nation are disabled. What use of such an economy? Economic growth should not be one-sided. That should be an all-round development. Yes, economy should take the leadership. That is why Chanakya, the great social and economic and political philosopher of ancient India, titled his book as Arthashastra. Economics must be given full focus. Good economics for good earth. This good economics, philosophy of good economics for good earth, can bring about a change, lovelier change. for making our globe a good earth, where consumption cannot cause problem for us, where production cannot cause problem for us. Consumption and production both will be environment friendly. Men, women, children, all will be eco-friendly. That is the basis of spirituality. If I and you together can unite ourselves with the nature, with a lovely nature, with a lovely river, lovely mountain, flowers and fruits, birds and animals, then that is called yoga. That is the foundation of yoga. Living in togetherness, living heart with others. Nature will be good, then nature will be motherly, pouring affection, lavish affection on us, showering benefits on us. We look forward to such an age, such a time where life, living, society, government, international trade and commerce, United Nations, global management, everything from individual to international shall be based on a rational policy of consumption, a rational policy of production, and a rational policy of living with the nature. Thank you all. Let us relax a little. We listen to each other in a different way. I was listening to your responses and you're listening to my discussion. Let us suspend all extraordinary external discussions. Let us go into an extraordinary internal discussion, dialogue with the God through silence, through an internal gaze going within. Let us compose our body into a temple. Body, neck, head straight. Focus on the top of the head. To what I say, hilltop hermitage. And from that point, watching the breath. The flow of the breath. To feel the presence of beloved Gurudev in this divine flow of the breath. Every inhalation, you are taking in love of Gurudev, teachings of Gurudev in. With every exhalation, you are feeling the presence of Sri Guruji, expelling all vices, all darts from within. Complete consciousness of the breath. Foundation of our yoga. More concentration at the top. And from that point, watching the breath, the bridge between you and the God. Through yoga, to silently walk over it from the side of this bridge, that is world side, to that side, the side of the God. Breath. In the soul center, that is the platform of prayer and meditation. More consciousness and concentration on Gurudev. Deep concentration that will give us realization. At the point of the throat, deep concentration for purification of the physical process, that is the body. Significantly, all expressions, thinking, imagination, expression of words, writing, purifying. Yoga makes us pure. At the heart point, more concentration to purify our emotions, our imaginations, our inclinations. Purity, further purity. At the navel point, more concentration on purity of intake of foods. Food is God. I'm eating God means I'm eating with God consciousness. That is what beloved Gurudev throughout had taught us. Khadya, food, Brahman. Khadya Brahman. Food is Brahman. The food, while making the food, while serving the food, and while taking the food, we should have a continuous God consciousness. Each particular food be decorated with God consciousness. From the navel point downwards to second center, to seek heavenly goodness within the four corners of the home. Home becoming heavenly, our life will be purposeful, our life will be peaceful. At the bottom center, further purity, purity of livelihood, earning capacity, spending, investment. Each dollar that I invest, must invest in a holy way. That's the basic principle behind spending and expenditure. At the backside of such centers to worship our masters and the God. Think of beloved Gurudev. You know the place where to concentrate. Think of Sri Guruji. To gain an elementary divine power to pursue yoga. At the next upper center, think of Yoganand and Satyanand. Deep concentration on the two great masters to lead us for further enlightenment. Next up, to think of Swami Yuktashram and Sanyal Mahasaya. Oh, this is Srirampur. This is Srirampur. Our great master is living there. Pray her to guide us, govern us, to gain more achievement through yoga. Still upwards. Think this is the residence of, permanent residence of our first teacher, Shyamacharana Lahiri. He is there. What a wonderful body temple. All our masters are with us, ever present, ever ready to help us, lead us in the path of evolution. Next stop, Babaji, the foundation of Kriya Yoga. आज हरिहरानंद, आज योगानंद, आज प्रज्ञानानंद. They think of Babaji. Please think that way. All masters are in Babaji, and Babaji in all our masters of the lineage. A wonderful combination of spirituality and divinity. Next stop, your God, your love, your deity, your choice. Love, offer love. Now, climb up to the top. And from the top, focus to your breath. Have a deep, slow and long breath. Hold and bow your Kriya style to beloved Gurudev, masters and the master of the creation. Bow. Exhale, normal consciousness. Complete the process by yourself. And return to verticality of your body, neck and head. This verticality of the spine, that is the foundation of our yoga. More stillness of this verticality, more calmness, more peacefulness, leading to love offerings to the masters, then leading to merger with the master and the master of the creation. Om Amen. Jai Guru.